All right, folks, welcome to the Tech and Ed Podcast, the only podcast to cover the geek side of EdTech. My name is Mohammed, and I have with me my fantastic co-host, Tamer. And today we are going to talk about coronavirus part 2. And we have some of our weekly updates. Tamer, any weekly updates?
I think everyone that's in this ed tech space right now is kind of dealing with the same thing. I mean, we're all kind of just trying to get all our programs virtual, supporting our teachers and staff in their new virtual worlds. And I mean, that's really what I've been doing all week, and just making sure that our students have the devices they need, our teachers have the devices they need, and everyone has the access that they need. So it's just been all hands on deck.
Yep. Yeah, I think this whole episode is going to be our weekly updates. But, you know, we're here. That's what we're here for.
Yep. So talk to me. I know you got a nice update for us on some NJ Kick stuff.
Unfortunately, there are some... what's a safe word to use here? Bad people.
Bad people.
I want to make sure anyone can listen to this. These are some bad people. And... I have the...
What do you want? You're on... I don't even know
3. On 3.
You're on 3? No, you're not. You're on 4.
Okay.
He lied to me.
Sorry. We have some bad people, and the FBI released a PSA just 3 days ago talking about the rise in fraud related to COVID-19. And some of the issues that have been coming out are fake CDC emails, phishing emails, and unfortunately people do this in vulnerable times. And it's actually messed up. And I think these people, really, they need to find something else to do. Because in my opinion, the words I want to say right now, I will never be able to say on air. Just, that's how frustrated I am.
Yeah.
The fact that I received this PSA. So
I mean, it's sad that we as a society, even in the middle of a global health pandemic, we really just can't stop the BS. You know what I mean? But at the same time, cyber security is always been top priority, and this is no other scenario. I think you just have to be very vigilant of all the things that are going on. And when there's something to be exploited, there's someone to exploit it. Unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, good article to just keep people informed. It's very easy to get distracted with everything else that's going on in the news, and all the actual medical stuff that's going around COVID-19 issues, but still got to be vigilant on the cyber end and know that unfortunately there's people out there's those actors that are going to try to take advantage, and it's sad, but that's the society we live in, clearly.
Unfortunately. But that's why we're here, to try and keep everyone safe and push that information out. So PSA from the FBI.
Yep.
Check it out. So let's just move right into our episode this week.
Yeah, so really, really unprecedented times right now. What can we say? I mean, we're probably the most needed that we've ever been in the educational space as technology people, because we are being propelled into a direction of just...
Propelled is a nice word.
Yeah.
Propelled.
We're just launched, whatever you want to call it. We're thrown into, just getting all of our stuff virtualized, and, we talked about, getting virtual classrooms up and stuff like that in COVID episode 1. But now, even things that that you don't think about on the surface level, things like our board meetings having to go virtual now, and that's a big thing for us. So we actually just started researching with Zoom, who I have to give a big shout out to, that they gave their licensing again. I think I did this in our first episode on this topic, but big shout out to them and all the companies actually that have just given away licensing and software and stuff to kind of help education continue and help us keep moving forward. So Zoom, we've been looking into their webinar software to basically have our board meetings be webinar meetings that the public can attend.
I actually hosted a board meeting last week. and we
Okay.
did it through Zoom. We used specifically the webinar portion.
Okay.
I know Zoom has like a free portion, but you're limited on how long the meeting can be and how many participants can be in that meeting. And so I actually went out, I purchased the Zoom webinar, which is not free. Or I think if you do like some clever stuff, you might be able to get it for free. And the reason that I use that is, you still need some type of public comment to the public to be able to say something. And the reason that I liked Zoom, and we fine tuned some of the settings, but the main thing was if you connect through the Zoom app, you can then there's a raise hand feature, and when it's time for public comment, you say, if you have a question, please raise your hand in the Zoom app, and then you can allow each individual one by one to talk. And that's how we handled our virtual meeting, and it went pretty well. And we'll probably have a couple more depending on how long this goes. And it works really well. I don't need a million features. I don't need all these bells and whistles. Zoom, simple, easy to set up. Has a million settings, but after I went through them for about an hour, I was able to really fine tune how I wanted the board meeting to work, right? Because you have to be careful. You can't just the problem with Google Meet is, I think they changed some of their settings recently, but there wasn't enough control from the host of the meeting.
Right.
And that's why we didn't use Google Meet, even though we're a Google shop.
Right.
I looked a little bit into WebEx. I wasn't too happy with WebEx, and then I went a little bit into, I think, GoToMeeting, and Zoom just really did it for me. How easy it was to set up, how well it worked, and just and again, I'm limited on time.
Yeah.
So some things that I may have 2 or 3 days to do research, I had 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
In between everything else. So it worked, and I'm happy, and that was fantastic.
So, and I'm happy that it worked for you, because just like how you're telling everyone all these great things about it, I was able to call you and say, hey, what'd you do for your board meeting? And you were able to tell me, hey, yeah, I used the Zoom webinar feature and the raise hand feature. And so these are all things now that I'm looking at as we get ready to do our virtual board meeting, which is going to be later on this month. So that's just, so we're going one of our processes, or one of our normal things that we're bringing online. And by the way, just I don't think you've done this yet, but I'm starting to look into not just our board meetings, but some of our events that we would have, like our National Honor Society inductions and things like that.
Yeah.
We're starting to look into that as a district and doing those in webinar form and seeing how that works. But another interesting process that we've had to kind of figure out, and we're in the middle of figuring it out, I think you are as well, is digital signing of documents, right? We were just so used to sitting in our board offices and hey, quick, sign this PO or sign this and whatever, and, taking it to the right person. But now everyone's working from home. How do you get the signatures on those documents that, you need to continue your operations? So
you're going to print it out, mail it to somebody, have them sign it, mail it back. It's just not realistic.
No, it's not, So what have you been doing? Because we literally are just scratching the surface on my end of it. We really haven't figured too much of it out yet. But I know that you're a little deeper in your research. What have you done? What are you doing?
So again, limited time frame. So it may not be 100% what we end up using, but something that looks very promising, in my opinion, is Adobe Sign. So if you have the licenses from Adobe for Creative Cloud that are assigned to individuals.
Okay.
I don't know about the other type of licensing where it's assigned to the device. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, the managed users model. I forget what exactly it's called, but it's like a managed users deployment model.
Right, and you sign up and they sign in and they get an Adobe account and whatnot. And you can either do it through Acrobat or you could do it through a web portal.
Okay.
And you can upload PDFs, JPEGs, not videos, pictures, PDFs, Word documents, whatever it is, it'll automatically convert it into a PDF. And then you can add different fields. So signature field, time field, name field, text boxes, whatever it is. Then you can select whatever sender you want to send it to. And you can add multiple senders and assign those boxes. And that was something we were playing with to see how that can work. We also want to make sure that it's not like it takes a half hour just to set up one document.
Right. Simplicity.
Yeah.
I think that's the big driving force with a lot of the products that we're looking at trying to implement, right? Is that it needs to be really simple for us to get it implemented because we're trying to do this very rapidly, right? I mean, think about this. Like a week and a half ago, we were sitting in our desks, you know, and now we're completely, mobilized into our homes, if you will. So yeah, I mean, simplicity is key.
Yep. So that was one thing we looked at. I think it might work for some things. It may not work for others. Unfortunately, that's just, how things work out. But very promising. Also, on the subject of document signing, we can't forget about FERPA or HIPAA compliance.
Yep.
And I did some research. I need to do more research. This is why I don't feel completely comfortable with it yet.
Right.
I know Adobe specifically says they are FERPA compliant, they are HIPAA compliant, and they, force people to check off. I agree to the terms, and I agree to allow, as a signer, you have to agree to allow your signature to be used as electronic.
Right.
But I also need some more information as far as where's that data being stored, does Adobe have access to it, et cetera, et cetera. That language is very boring to read.
Right.
It's also very difficult to read, and so I just haven't been able to really read through it.
Okay. Well, and that's, again, we're not the only ones in this boat, right? So if you're listening to this podcast, because like I said, I'm just scratching the surfaces. And I know there's other companies like DocuSign that are out there and they have different solutions and things like that. So if you've already figured this out, or if you're looking into this as well, definitely post in our comments, whether you're on our, the YouTube page or you're on the K-12 sysadmin subreddit that we post to a lot. And just let us know, or, even if you're going to, send us an email, whatever it is, let us know what your...
I would love to know if somebody has this figured out already.
Yeah, I mean...
Just make my life easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So... I'd love to know too, because I know that, we're, like I said, we're just scratching the surface of it, and we're trying to figure it all out, but I'm curious what other people have figured out, if they've figured out anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So... that's some of the things that we've had to do outside of kind of helping our students. But now that we're in an electronic world, and everybody is home with a device,
right?
How are we supporting our kids? And what, at the same time, we want to be socially distancing.
Right.
But how do we make sure that they have the devices they need and they have the support if that device is no longer working? Do you have anything implemented yet? Or I think we were talking about it the past few days.
Yeah, so actually just today I pushed out to all of our districts. We didn't have this pushed out, but we pushed out to all of our districts the Chrome remote desktop app. We pushed that out to all of our district-owned Chromebooks. So this way, whether you're a staff member, you're a student, and you're having a problem with a district-owned device, we can remote onto it. You can get in touch with us via our help desk, and we can schedule a remote time and remote onto it and, help you out.
It's a fantastic tool.
Yeah,
amazing.
Really cool.
And it's like, I think it's just built in, right? It's built built into your Google subscription, and you can push the app to the Chrome.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, so we pushed that out, and we actually demoed it today, and we actually used it today for a couple, of teacher issues. Now, my problem in my district is that I am not one-to-one. If I was one-to-one, this would be phenomenal for me right now, because almost all my kids would have, Chromebooks at home, and I'd be able to, help them. So we've adopted the philosophy that we can't support a device that's not a district-owned device. That being said, if there are some students that didn't have a device, and it's still optional if a student wants a district-owned device, they can come and they can get a Chromebook from us. We have staff at our one of our schools all week that are there just to help get people Chromebooks, or if they have a Chromebook and it's broken, come and swap it out. So that's kind of what we've been doing for all of our Chromebook stuff. And believe it or not, again, I don't know if this is something specific to my district or districts like me are experiencing the same thing. I'm sure every district has its dynamics, but we haven't had too many of our students that have devices at home really want a district device. They actually feel more comfortable using their own device, their own personal device. And we haven't really heard too many problems. Most of the problems we've been addressing have been like account related issues, like I can't log into this system or I can't get into that system, and those we've been addressing as they come up, and it hasn't been too crazy, to be honest. So I don't know. I don't know if that's because people can't get it. It's that famous thing. Is there no problems out there and no one's contacting me because there's no problems, or is everyone not able to contact me? Right, but
that's a good, actually interesting thing. You know, but make sure you're available in multiple different facets, right?
Yeah, I mean we've been responding to emails, we've been talking to people, we've been just communicating, and we haven't heard of anything on a large scale. So I think that's really good. And our normal support channels we know are working because we're getting requests in through those normal channels, whether it's email or help desk, phone system, whatever it is. So that's been good. But for our users that are now at home, we've given some of our board office staff and administrative staff laptops to take home. Not too many of those, but we've already owned licensing for remote support, so we just went ahead and adopted that same remote support licensing for that.
Which program?
I'm using Dameware Remote Anywhere, and
Okay.
I'm a big SolarWinds guy. I have my web help desk. I have Dameware NT utilities. I have I have some of their network scanners and different. I'm a big SolarWinds guy, so we just went with the Dameware Remote Anywhere. Unfortunately, the one caveat is that it doesn't work on Chromebooks. It's only a Windows or Mac support platform. But I haven't tested this yet. I do know that with Zoom, you can remote control with Zoom. So I haven't tried remote controlling a Chromebook with Zoom. I have done a Mac and a PC with remote control with Zoom, but that's also if you're currently already implementing Zoom for your virtual classrooms and webinars, it might also be a tool that you can use that's already out there for you to do some remote support kind of stuff.
Interesting thought. I haven't even thought about that to do with Zoom. This is why we have these conversations, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that way I can then take them and use them for myself. No.
It's okay, man. Look, whatever in this time, it's whatever we all gotta band together and help each other out and get as much information. And I'm gonna go back to our intro episode, our trailer. So if you're just getting into our podcast and you haven't had a chance to check out our trailer episode, but you can always go back to that to really get a feel of what we talk about on a weekly basis. But we talked about how there's no competition between us, so steal away.
Episode 00.
Zero.
Double zero.
Of zero. So that's what we've been doing for remote support. What about you? What are you doing in terms of online learning? Do you have any additional plans going on? I mean, I know that when we talked about this in our first episode where this came up, we said, we're going to be out for probably a week, 2 weeks. Now, obviously, this has become a very big issue, and we're going to be out for some time. Have you guys begun to do anything?
Yeah, so we initially made our plans for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Not technology, but the district itself.
Right.
And 2 weeks is coming to an end, and so we made another 2 weeks worth of plans, and I think they're in the process of still working on them. But yeah, I mean, no one really knows how long this is going to go on.
No.
And so now I think what the challenge is you create a schedule like, hey, every Monday we're going to create another set of plans for the next week.
Right.
And it's just day by day figuring it out. Every time I see the news, it's like more cases, and it's like, geez, so it's not slowing down. It's not getting any better. But that means that, we have to come up with a longer plan, more lessons for the online learning.
Yes.
So now we created another 2 weeks. So we only did 2, so now we created another 2. So now we will be up to 4 weeks How about you? Did you start off with 2 weeks or?
Yeah, we start off with 2 weeks. We got our 2 weeks of closure plans submitted to the DOE. That's what they mandated originally. Now it's looking like we're going to be out longer. We did another 2 week plan. Our initial 2 weeks was kind of the plans. Those plans were circulated around just being closed for 2 weeks. So it's kind of just like continuing some form of learning. Where now our next 2 week plans are becoming more curriculum integrated, and we're looking at like, okay, it's time to not just do something for 2 weeks, but make it meaningful and connect back to our curriculum timetable, if you will. So we've begun to do that, and I think we're in the same boat. We really don't know how long this is going to go. I know some districts have already announced that they're going to be closed for the rest of the year.
I think it was Oklahoma. Was a state they announced for the that's.
So, and the thing to keep in mind with that too, though, is that different districts throughout the country are end at different times, right? Here in New Jersey,
that's right.
We tend to go to the end of June, whereas some districts in throughout the country, they may actually be ending in the beginning of May or halfway through May. So it might just be easier to say, we're closed for the rest of the year. We haven't made that announcement yet. I don't know if we are going to get to that point or not. I think we all are hoping that it's not going to last that long, but we're also, beginning to plan and be ready for if something like that was to happen.
There was an announcement that I don't have in my notes.
Oh, no?
Which I don't know how I feel about yet, is standardized testing. It was canceled. Or federally.
Yes. I did hear that.
Required this year.
Yes.
I think we're still waiting on our specific state's response to that.
Right.
But that's a big deal. You know, like as much as everybody hates standardized testing, it's still data.
Oh, right? Yeah, absolutely.
And so what do you do when you're trying to understand your 3 year or 5 years worth of growth? Is it just kind of
I think what you do is you get innovative, man. I mean, that's literally what we're doing right now. We're just reinventing this wheel because we're in uncharted territories, I think that's what it is for everybody. So, yeah, I mean, that is very big, and that is impactful to those people that look at data trends and how we're growing as a district and things like that. But I think the short-term goals of just continuing education are superseding some of those longer-term goals right now. And I think that's, it's
day by day.
Day by day. I will say that, one of the big things that's important now, it's always been important, but it's becoming more on the forefront, is net etiquette and digital citizenship amongst those students. They're kind of being really, pushed into having that good net etiquette and having that good digital citizenship and understanding those things. And it's kind of like being thrown to the fire for them a little bit in, knowing how to be good digital citizens and things like that. But hopefully your curriculum has helped to develop some of that. And I think I have to, give a big shout out to all the teachers that have been very, very flexible in really jumping into this, whether they are technology gurus and they adopt technology very quickly, or they've never touched anything innovative with technology, and we're all kind of being pushed into this. So that's a big thing that's going on right now.
That's exciting for me. The fact that people are being forced to use technology, I get it. You may not be happy about it. It may be frustrating. It may be not what you want to do, but that is actually it's exciting to see everybody using technology in every way and how to figure it out. How do we figure it out?
Yeah. It's the light, right? In all this craziness that's going on. It's the light is that everyone is kind of really embracing this stuff, and that's great. That's we were talking about this the other day in my district where we're going 1-to-1 next year. So this kind of pushed so much of my staff to just figure out how to do things virtually and how to really, take advantage of some of the online curriculum and the virtual curriculum and really take advantage of Chromebooks and, pushing things digitally and almost, if we were pushing we were pushing Google Classroom as a big thing in my district because we're a Google district for a long time. I don't think there's a single teacher in my district right now that doesn't have a Google Classroom set up just because, they've been propelled into it. So, definitely a little bit of positivity in all of what's going on is that is happening. I I don't know. Talk to me about where we're going though. Where do we go from here? What is, you know,
Well,
we don't know how long this is going to be. What does graduation, proms, things like that? What do they look like for schools now? That's another interesting topic.
it's not slow. It's not slowing down.
No.
It's not like simple as that. The numbers are increasing. It's not slowing down. So, for us, luckily our graduation is in June. But you're saying there are some districts who end in May. I
Yeah.
think maybe like Florida, because it just might be too hot.
Right.
May is right around the corner. I'd be interested to see what these districts are doing for graduation or for prom. I think the other day I watched this Facebook video. Somebody had their their first dance of their wedding on Facebook Live at their home because their wedding got canceled.
Right.
And so is this what graduation is going to turn into? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I would be interested to know what some districts who have, had to deal with that. What are they doing? We talked about it in my district. We talked about it, briefly that, we may be doing our graduation as like a webinar, but, and I know we're kind of jokingly laughing about that, but it very well is a reality that we're going to be facing, some of answering some of those questions. And, I have to say it really is difficult. I feel for like it's really sucky to be a senior in high school right now, right? Because so much of this stuff is just affecting you, right?
So I think for most, but there are also some who may have had issues with them possibly graduating, and a lot of those are, going to be waived. Like a lot of the attendance, attendance. If you were very close to losing credit because of your attendance, if you haven't passed any of the standardized testing and now that's waived, I think there's both sides, but definitely for those students that were looking forward to graduation, those families that are looking forward to graduation, especially if if the student who's graduating, that's the first person to graduate from high school in their family, right?
Yeah.
This is like...
No, I mean, listen, just like anything else, that we're facing with this social distancing, this is just another thing that we're just going to have to accept. I think the benefits outweigh the negatives, if you will. And yeah, I mean, it's sucky. I'd be curious to see post all this, do districts maybe do like a makeup graduation or something like that? I don't know. I'd be curious, like I said, what other districts who've already said, okay, we're not gonna be around for end of school year. Have they come up with a plan for that?
I know. I figured it out.
Okay.
We'll just wait for whatever the college is doing. We'll copy that.
All right, college, just take the lead on this. We're waiting for you.
Please.
Okay, so clearly still a lot of uncharted territory, a lot of things we're figuring out in our second week, or not second week, but our second update here on the COVID-19 issue and how it's affecting education. Definitely let us know if you have anything creative you're doing, or if you have a plan that for something that we discussed, and maybe you have something better that you're doing, because we'd like to know and we'd like to share it with everyone else that's out there, because that's really what this is all about, right? Is let's get some of that information out there.
That's all. I think that's been a huge thing, is how much information everybody is sharing.
Yes.
Everyone's like, I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and here, let me know if you have a question. And the K-12 sysadmin Reddit, man, I've gotten so many good things from there.
I think it speaks to the kind of community all the K-12 tech people are, in that, we're all always willing and to help each other, and we band together. We all know that we're thrown into this, it's uncharted for a lot of us. So I think that's kudos to the entire community of K-12 system admins, directors, technology people, all those guys. Now I do want to bring up something that's not technology related. Not education related, but very cool technology related. So I'm a big fan of Linus Tech Tips. I watch him religiously. Like I subscribe, I watch him every day. And he recently posted a video. And if you don't watch Linus Tech Tips and you're a tech geek like me and you like to know all the latest and greatest and reviews and all that stuff, definitely check out his channel. But he posted a video about the folding project, and I sent it to you. Did you watch it?
I did. The folding at home. Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. Very interesting. I actually have his video up.
Do you?
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
And so, the title is Here's how you can help find a cure for COVID-19. And basically, it's just a video where they go and use this program, which is Folding at Home, that you install on your computer. Only runs. It's nothing new, right? It runs while you're while your computer is idling, and it uses your processing power, whether it's your video card, processor, whatever it may be, to help them complete some of these, proteins that they're trying to create virtually. And I think one of the big ones right now is that to help figure out some of the proteins to fight the COVID-19 germs, whatever it is,
the virus, yeah,
the virus germs, and so this is a very, very cool video that he used like a machine that is completely ridiculous.
Yes,
in my
of course,
opinion.
of course.
It is.
But that's so Linus. Like he always has just like a computer with like 7 video cards just sitting around.
Yeah.
But no,
So-
I mean, yeah. Look, I have to say, this is a cool way if you're a tech guru, if you're a tech geek, for you to kind of get involved and help out. And like I said, shout out to Linus because that's where I first heard about it. And I definitely urge you, if you're listening to this, go to our YouTube channel and go to our description and check out Linus's video on this. Subscribe to his channel because he has great videos all the time. But definitely check out this video. He really goes into how to set this up and how to get it going on your computer at home, and how to make sure that it's only using the resources that you the resources on your computer, like your CPU and your GPU resources, when you're not using it. And he has his own Linus team, right? I think they have like teams that kind of compete with each other, like how much compute power. And so he has his own Linus team that I recommend you joining, only again because I'm a big Linus fan. So definitely get on his team, and he gives you all the information about that. But check out the video. It's a really, really cool video.
Very cool video. So that's the Linus Tech Tips. So the title is Here's How You Can Help Finding a Cure for COVID-19. And the website for the folding at home is foldingathome.org. And that's where you can download, and they have tutorials, and online they also have a forum or a message board. You can go on there, take a look at how to set things up, and also from Linus's video.
Yeah, so again, if you're listening to this on any other platform and you just want to shoot over to our YouTube channel, it's going to be on our description, the links to that video and the Folding at Home project links. And, definitely check it out, because I think it's a great way. If you're, like I said, if you're a technology guru, you're a geek, and you have that computer sitting on your desk and you're sleeping, great way to get involved. And really not doing much other than just installing this program and getting it running, so... So in all this craziness, I have to ask, what do you wish to come out of all of this? What are your thoughts? What do you feel? Where do you think we go from here? What do we learn from this? How do we grow from this?
So one thing that I want and I can be selfish, that I want out of this is, I really, when this is all over, I wish everyone is a little bit more technically savvy, and that we do not go back to our old ways, that we have found resources and tools and online features that help, offices, classrooms, every facet of a school, including how to handle business and all these other things, to really continue to strive for the innovation and understand that there are there's more than one way to get something done, and just because you're doing it a specific way doesn't mean it's the best way.
Right.
And to always and consistently figure out a way to innovate and see what's out there and understand what's out there. That's one of the things that I would like to see when this is all over, is that we just become more innovative.
I agree with that. And just to I think to add to that, I think what I want to see come out of all of this is respect. I think there's I think the general public and parents are going to really respect and appreciate our teaching staff more for what they do. Those parents are now dealing with getting their kids' assignments done and working with them and helping their education and fostering their education at home. So, and that's a really it's a really good highlight of what our teachers do on a day-to-day basis, right? Your kids are in your kids, along with like 20 to 30 other kids, are in our teachers' classrooms from the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and so it's a testament to all the hard work that our teachers do on a daily basis that now our parents get to see. So I think if we gain a little more respect for them, and then down the pipeline even more, our teachers gaining a little more respect for technology, and us as a department, really realizing that we are here to help and really bring innovation to your classroom and things like that. We're not just the guys that you throw something at you and say use this piece of technology, but we really want to. We're doing that because there's a bigger thing that we're trying to push, and we really want innovation and the expansion of technology, and it can be very helpful when you use it. And so I think those two, and then of course I think overall as a staff in the school, respect for our students and their resiliency. This is just as difficult as it is for our teaching staff, our administrators, and our technology staff. This is really difficult for our students to really be thrown into, and they're being very resilient. So I think having a good appreciation and respect for everyone and what they've done in this situation and how we all grew from it.
Damn, that's pretty good.
I didn't write that. That was from the heart.
Yeah, ditto. Make that easy.
Oh man. Well, I like I said, I am speaking from the heart. I think we are the education community is always a strong community, and whether it's crazy times like this or it's just we're trying to figure out something for a standardized test or whatever it might be, we tend to come together and really help each other out. And this is another great example of how we come together. I hope we continue to come together, and we continue to grow from this.
Heartwarming.
Yes. All right. So
wait. Tamer has the new phone, but he doesn't want to show.
Oh, I knew you were gonna. I thought we almost made it. I
had that on my mind the whole time. He doesn't want to show it. He did 3 episodes. New phone is coming, and then
okay. So I did get the new S20 Ultra finally. I couldn't even believe in all this mayhem that I got it. So I'm gonna be completely honest. The reason why I didn't want to show. I love the phone, by the way. In just my day-to-day use with the phone, I love the phone. The reason why I didn't want to get too detailed into it, because I really haven't had an opportunity to really play with it, So I am going to talk about this, but not today, because I want to really give you a good perspective of what I think of the phone. But it is a great phone so far from what I have played with it, which has literally been phone calls and text messages. Bless you.
In the elbow. Elbow.
Bless you. Stay away from me.
I should have gone this way.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm a lefty.
It's okay. I'll let you have it. So, more of a reason for you to tune in to our next episode. See how I did that? Speaking of Linus, man, if you're watching this, that was pretty good, right? He always has good intros, outros, and segues, yeah. But either way, more of a reason for you to tune in to our weekly episodes and find out more about educational technology. And remember that you can see this weekly podcast on all our major podcasting platforms. We uploaded this video to YouTube. And just like we talked about today, we always put some good links and resources when we have them in the video description. Our new episodes are released every Tuesday. So if you'd like some more information about this and future episodes, you can visit our website, www.techandedmedia.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Tech and Ed Media. And thanks for supporting this podcast. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you on the next one.